Hello, I am live and see there's no one on yet. So I'll wait a few minutes and make sure this is working. All right. Okay, I can see myself on my phone, so it must be working. I'll pull up my questions here. We have been busy this week. We've been having VBS. I don't know what the VBS is like in your area, but for us, it is from 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. every day for an entire week. Thankfully, it's just down the road, but it's a super busy, packed time. So I'm teaching science this year. My husband is teaching the 3rd through 8th grade boys class. We only have about 27 to 30 students total for the whole week. And last year was the first year that we had men teaching in the VBS. And it was such a blessing because they took the boys in their classes, and boys are rowdy. And so it was really nice to have a man there to enjoy teaching them and hanging out with them and letting them be boys and do boy stuff. So my husband's teaching that again. My oldest son is helping along with my daughter's fiance. They are officially engaged. He proposed to her last week, so she's got a ring on her finger. We're all very excited for them. So anyway, just really busy all week so far. Cadence is behind me on the couch. She came home and went right to sleep, and she woke up not feeling very well. So hopefully she's just tired and she'll feel better in the morning. But she's having a rest right now. I still have not got to finish my dinner. We just had a huge thunderstorm roll through, and it dropped about 1.5 inches of rain on us, and there was water puddles everywhere. There's water running in the basement from the stairs outside that go down to the basement. And I've used up all my bath towels. Thankfully, it's quit raining now, so I hope the water stops coming into the basement. Please let me know in the comments if you can hear me all right. I should have asked that at the beginning, I guess, the things you learn when you start doing live stream. I still have my dinner. I haven't even got to finish eating yet. So the other kids are downstairs. Some of the big kids, the 3 big kids, are gone right now to their young adults. My husband is on his way home. Hopefully he'll make it home on the muddy roads. And I've got the other kids here with me. So let's see. Can anyone hear me? Could you leave a comment so I can make sure that you can hear me? All right. I might need to pull that back up on my phone. I could see myself, but I wasn't paying attention on if I could hear myself talking or not. So let's pull that back up and see.
You don't move on because you're ready to. You move on.
Gotta wait for the ads to play. Okay, let me know in the comments who's here. I see we have 2 people here, so hello. Thank you for joining. Okay, let's see if I can hear myself now.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, yay, I can.
If I can hear myself now.
The dog is outside, and he is so excited about the rain. He was running around like a crazy person. Or not a person, a crazy dog out there doing the race car dog thing where he's like zooming all over the place. Okay, Christine says, hi, Shannon, I can hear you. Great. All right, so I'm just going to get started. I don't have a ton of questions. I've got a few. I also asked over on Instagram just this afternoon. I thought to do that. So my first question is from Sonia, and it says, is your oldest daughter moving with you all? What's going to happen with the home you live in right now? So I'll start with a little bit of a moving update. We are set to move the very July 6th. So it's only in a few weeks coming up. Our oldest daughter is not coming with us. She'll be moving into town. She's going to live with a friend in her apartment for about 6 months until she gets married in December. And the house that we live in right now will just stay here. We're not renting it to anyone. We're not selling it. It's just going to sit here. It may still have some of our stuff in it if I don't get it all packed up to take with us. So it'll just sit. Our land right now, my father-in-law has his cows. We have 160 acres. And my father-in-law has his cows out there grazing the pasture, and he will just use it to feed his cows because we don't have any animals to feed on it. So he'll keep an eye on the house, and they still use the Quonset here to keep the combines in and a lot of the tools and stuff. So they'll just be in and out of here all the time, getting their tools and stuff. So gonna stay here. Our daughter's not going. That's a hard thing, but she is growing into an adult, and that is what they do. That's why we raise them, so that they can be shot out into the world. So I'm not worried about her staying here. All of our family is here, and our church family is here. Her fiance is here, and his family is here. She's not, going off to a state where I have no idea who the people are or what the area is like. She's staying here with our church body who loves her and our family who loves her, and they will take care of her. So I also have Jade and Katie's Kitchen. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. All right, the next question is from Aaron Donnelly. How do you think your family will adjust from life in Colorado to Kansas City? I also wanted to say, too, if you guys have more questions, put them in the comments. I will answer them while I'm on here. Keep an eye on the comments. I think my family will adjust fine. We have not always lived in the country. I mean, I grew up in the country, but we have lived in the city, and we did fine. We utilized the parks a lot when we're in the city. We lived, I don't know how long you have been with our channel, but 5 years ago, we lived in a camper in the city, and we got along just fine. I do like to use the parks when it's nice because that gives us big space to run and play. The only thing I'm concerned about is the dog, because he's a busy farm dog, and that's all he's known his whole life. So he might be a little challenging, but we will work that out and just take him with us and get him on his leash and let him run and play. So I totally think we're going to adjust fine. It's going to be the biggest challenge probably is going to be to not spend our money at restaurants, because right now we live where the closest restaurant is 50 miles away, and there's a Dairy Queen within 5-minute walking distance from our house. So that'll be difficult to not spend all our money at restaurants and eat out all the time. I have some more questions here. These are about homeschooling, so I'm going to go ahead and get those in here. This is from Simple Home and School. She is a new subscriber, so thanks for joining us and subscribing. The first question, what curriculum are you using for next year? I did say a while ago I was going to do a homeschool update. I have not had time to do that, so I'll just kind of do one here a little bit. The curriculum I plan on using as of right now is Masterbooks. I really like Masterbooks. I like their gentle lessons, and I have most of their levels of math and language arts on PDF, so I can print it for each child. And they all know the routine with that because we've been using Masterbooks for a few years, so they kind of know how it goes and what to do. Something next year that we're going to be doing that's a little bit different is a co-op in Kansas City. There is a homeschool co-op. Hi, Sonia. I answered your question already, so you might have to go back and watch unless you were already watching. Anyway, so next year we're planning on participating in a co-op, which will be interesting. They have little kids. They also have 3rd through 5th grade. They have middle school, and they have high school. So my high schooler, the courses they're planning for them are speech and debate, which he will absolutely hate, and personal finance and economics. So I have mixed feelings about a co-op because my kids have struggled so hard with reading and writing and spelling. I'm fearful of them not doing well in a co-op, but it also could be really, really good for them. So my oldest son, Coulter, he will be in 9th grade this next year. he has really, really struggled with dyslexia for most of his, well, obviously for all of his life. He just now is starting to click with the reading. He still is pretty slow, but he's making himself do it, which is very encouraging for me. For so many years, even my daughter's fiance, his mom is one of my good best friends, and I remember with her just sitting and us both crying and so frustrated thinking our boys were never ever going to learn to read because her boys also struggle with dyslexia. And then one day with Malachi, which is my future son-in-law, it just clicked, and now he reads anything and everything. He is a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant man, and it just clicked for him. And with Coulter, it's starting to just click for him now. So he's being more self-disciplined. He told me this summer he wants to do math and language arts because he wants to catch up to his grade level. And I told him I thought that was fantastic. He also is being part of our reading challenge. So I told him he can read whatever he wants to read. I will not pick a book for him, but he does have to read something. So he chose some books and he's been enjoying those. And trying to read at least an hour every day. So it's starting to click, which is encouraging for me. And I just want to encourage you, if you have little people who are struggling to learn to read, they will get it eventually. Don't stress out about it. Enjoy the time you get to spend reading to them and enjoying that time snuggling on the couch and learning right along with them. So the next one, okay, so anyway, so Master Books is our main, what we'll use. For middle school at the co-op, they are doing writing with IEW. I've never ever used IEW, but I've only heard good things about it. And anatomy was the other one. So a science class, which will be fun. I thought it was kind of neat that they told me they were doing anatomy because that is what I had planned on us doing for science next year. So, and for that, I was going to do a mixture of books that I already have because I've got a ton of books about the human body. So we were just going to read through books and learn about the human body. So that's what they're doing for the middle school. For the elementary ages, they had PE, health, a health class, which I had told them that I would teach, and an English class. So that may be really good that will be for my little kids. That'll be for Kyla and Cadence and Kendon, I think. So that will be good for them, hopefully. I'm just nervous about the English class, but hopefully it'll go okay. And then for the little kids, they don't have decided yet what they're going to be doing. So we're going to do mostly all master books plus some Usborne books thrown in there and some other books that I've got on the shelf about the human body. Lots of chapter books, read alouds. Hopefully that fit in with our history theme, and master books as our base. So what I'll do, we're going to finish with the World Story 2 and move our way into World Story 3. And as we do that, I just use World Story as my base, and I pick chapter books based off of what we're going to be learning about in history. So that's what we'll be doing for that. Her second question, all-time favorite read aloud and chapter books for the kids. So I was able to ask some of my kids these questions. Are you okay? Okay. Cadence is watching me. I was able to ask some of the kids these questions. The first book that every kid I asked told me was the Wing Feather Saga. We read that book that whole series. There's four parts, 4 books, and we all loved it so much. They were such good books. So that's our number one recommendation. Let's see. I have some more here. I got to look at my little notes that I've got. Another one was the 21 Balloons. That one's been a few years since we've read it. Twice Freed. That book we have not read in probably 10 years, and I need to reread it to my younger kids because that was one of my favorite books ever. I think it's a fantastic book. So I want to make sure I read it to my younger kids that haven't heard it yet. They all loved the Little House on the Prairie books. And we read Caddy Woodlawn, which is very similar to Little House on the Prairie books. which they enjoyed. There's a lot of books. They like almost every book we read. Oh, the Green Ember. Cadence just said she likes the Green Ember. She was sleeping when I asked the other kids. So the Green Ember books are also very, very good. Our kids really enjoyed them. I know that there are some families that didn't enjoy the Green Ember books as much, but that's something that we really enjoyed. Number 3, what do you do with the littles while working with older kids, especially when you didn't have as many children to help out with the youngers? So a lot of the time when we do our group work, everybody sits at the table from the time they are born until they can do schoolwork on their own. They sit at the table with us. I hold the infants in my lap or on me in a baby carrier, and they would sit with us. When they're big enough, they get strapped in their high chair and enjoy coloring or playing with something while they listen to me read to everyone else. When it came time to doing independent work, my routine now, the best thing that I found is to work with my younger kids first. And I try to spend at least 20 minutes with them, or I set a limit of pages. Like if Clayton he's 4. If he has a workbook, I'll say, we're going to do 4 pages of your workbook today, and then your time's going to be all done and you can go play. So my kids are not as little anymore. They're not 2-year-olds running around destroying the house while you're trying to homeschool the bigger kids, but I've been there. And what I finally came to the conclusion of is you just have to let them make a mess, and you can clean it up when you're done. I would simplify our toys a lot. We do not have a ton of toys in our house. Our house is not very big for 10 people to live here. So I really declutter a lot and keep only a small amount of toys. So it can't get so destroyed when you don't have as many toys to destroy everywhere. But I finally just had decided I can clean the house up when we're done doing school. I'm not going to worry about the mess right now. I'm going to let them be entertained safely and enjoy themselves and not worry about it. So we did that. And then now that Clayton is a little bigger, he can go play. When it's rainy and cold outside, I will maybe send him down to watch a movie. A lot of times this year, I would do school with him and with Carrington, who is 6. And then when I could do them together, one on each side of me. When their time was over, I would put on the Leapfrog Alphabet Factory, and they would watch that to help them learn their letters and the sounds, and they loved that. They thought that was great. They would watch that every single day. So that would give me time while they're doing that to help the bigger kids get their schoolwork done. So that's just an idea. You also could make a station and have special toys that they only get to play with during school time. You could have one of your bigger kids help take care of the little kids. Those are all options that you could do. 4th question, what do you do when a curriculum isn't working? Do you keep pushing, take a break, start something else? I usually start something else. I just figure if it's not working and no one's enjoying it, we're not going to keep doing it. And we just work on something else for a while, usually about a month. And then we go back to what we were doing and everyone's kind of refreshed, and we can keep going to try to finish what we've been using and been stuck on. So that's what I do. I know a lot of people, they just try to push through, but I don't want my kids to hate school, and I want to enjoy it myself. And even if there's a book that we're reading that I am struggling to get through with them because I think it's so boring, I will find something else to read because I have to enjoy what we're doing also. And if I'm not enjoying it, the kids are definitely not going to enjoy it. And so I'll just toss it out and we start something new. One of the things I'm thinking about for next year is possibly doing some more unit studies. My kids seem to do really, really well with unit studies. And I did get the lifetime membership to notebookingpages.com. If you're interested in that, I will stick my affiliate link down in the description box. You can go check them out. But I'm really excited about that because they have tons and tons and tons of notebooking pages about everything you could possibly think of. And it's an awesome way to do some unit studies with the kids. And especially with my kids, they love to do all the crafty stuff. They like coloring and drawing and all that kind of stuff. And it's a good way to get their writing done too. So I think that was my last question. Do you guys have more questions for me? Let me know what other questions you might have. I'll double check here real quick and give you a few minutes. Katie's Kitchen says she's dealing with an ice machine that wants to be cleaned or it won't make ice. Yes, I understand that. My mom's ice machine in her old fridge, it made ice constantly and never stopped. So they would just be dumping ice out the back door because they couldn't get it to shut off for some reason. Crystal Bennett. Hi, Crystal. So glad you're here. I was just finishing up questions that I had gotten. If you have any more questions, we talked a lot about homeschooling and moving. So if you've got any more questions about those two things or whatever else, I'm happy to answer them. I'm going to eat a little bit of my dinner. It's cold now. Mmm. Thanks, Momo.
I got a bunch of them because they
Cadence made me a picture today.
a lot of color pictures.
All right.
All color.
Well, I don't see any more questions coming up. Oh, what's for dinner?
We're having, isn't it
So I have taco meat, tortilla chips, and cheese, and some sour cream. I've only got a few of the kids home with me tonight, and we've been so busy. I've not done any meal planning whatsoever this whole week. We've been eating leftovers out of the fridge that we got from an anniversary party we went to this last weekend. I've just not been doing any cooking or anything. And Clayton wanted taco meat with chips, so I was like, that's an easy thing to make. So I went out, got some hamburger, and cooked it up real quick, and that's what we had for dinner.
I mean, these are all color.
Okay, just a minute, okay? All right. Well, I am going to call it a night. This has been 20 minutes. That was longer than I was expecting it to be. So, guys, thanks for coming. I'm super excited. There's 8 of you watching. That makes me really happy. I wasn't expecting that many people. So, thank you for watching tonight. If you guys have more questions, leave them in the comments of the video when it posts. And then maybe I'll do another one of these. I actually was thinking of trying to do a live every week. So let me know if that's something you're interested in. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend coming up, and I will see you guys all later. Bye-bye.
Do you think I can